here has multiple gurus, and maybe in your school you may have a guru, and maybe at your home, maybe your personal guru, and some of us also may have some religious guru like that we have. But why do we need a guru? Can't we do without a guru? I immediately think of something. During this Guru Purnima, I received a lot of messages. There was one message or maybe one in which it says someone was thanking Google because he says Google is my guru. I get a lot of input, whatever I need from Google. Is that correct? Can we get everything from Google? We can't. So we need to have a guru. Someone says guru is like a circuit breaker. I think we all know circuit breaker in electricity. When everything functions fine, the circuit breaker will not do any activity. In case if something happens wrong, circuit breaker will break, and then it will save the entire system and the entire circuit. So that is a circuit breaker. Similar to that, even in our life also, we need to have a guru who you can go and consult with him whenever you have a difficulty, or he will always be monitoring you, and he will find out, no, you are doing something wrong. Then he will correct it. So that is required. So that is a guru, and we all need it. Even in Toastmasters, so when we join the club, we all get a mentor. The mentor is a guru in Toastmasters, and he speaks to you, he discusses with you to understand as to what is your objective, why you join Toastmasters, what do you want to achieve. Then he will monitor, he will guide you in each and every step of Toastmasters. So the guru in the external world is a mentor in Toastmasters. Also, we have multiple projects, also the mentor and protege, the experience of the protege, multiple things. Even Toastmasters follows not Guru Purnima, but the system of Guru in the form of mentor. And I'm sure all of us are learning from our mentor. In case if you are not connected with your mentor, this is the day, and this is the Guru Purnima. Please connect with your mentor, discuss about your goals. I will now hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day. I will come again towards the end of the day.
Let me introduce my fellow colleagues who will help me in the control and conduct of this meeting. To maintain order in the meeting, we have someone who is a fellow member of ICSI and is interested in gardening, traveling, and reading. Let's welcome our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Deepak Birade. Keep track of time, we have someone who is a senior consultant working with an internal audit firm who likes traveling, adores food, and loves sleep. He also loves any form of art. According to whom, life is the best teacher. Life teaches you things which you never expected. Let's welcome Toastmaster Kevaladne. Keep track of the causes of pillars that we use. We have someone who is a graduate in microbiology. He loves to play football and cricket. He loves to watch Test cricket, women's cricket, AEW, and Premier League matches. He supports Leicester City as he feels that they are the underdogs of the league. His interests are cricket, football, wrestling, and drawing. He actually has two favorite teachers in his life who are Devyani ma'am and Shivade ma'am. These two teachers had their own philosophies in teaching and made him understand the subjects better. They were able to establish a relationship with him and his family. Let's welcome Toastmaster Tej Sharma. Give us a critical feedback of the language that we use and highlight upon the good and not so good usages of the English language. We have someone who is working as a procurement analyst at an IT company. His hobbies are playing violin and boxing. His favorite teacher is Yogi and Mystic Sadhguru. He is mesmerized by his storytelling skills and the ability to give impromptu and witty speeches at the go. Let's welcome Toastmaster Ritwik Tankiwala.
Good evening to one and all. I'm Ritwik Tankiwale and I'm the language evaluator today at the 704th meeting of the Team MCP. I will now introduce the word of the day and the idiom of the day. The word of the day today is diligent. Diligent means something that is marked by persevering and painstaking effort. Another interpretation would be persevering and careful in work and industrious. Synonyms for this word include hardworking, industrious, and thorough. An example of how this can be used in a sentence would be, they were diligent in the performance of their duties. Would anyone like to try using this word in a sentence? Anyone? Yeah.
Being diligent has always helped us escalate our work.
Right. Great. Now, I would go to the idiom of the day, which is through thick and thin. It means through many difficult times over a long period, or being consigned to us. Similar phrases include in rain or shine, in the face of adversity, and regular. An example of how it can be used in a sentence is, even though the rumors that the company was in trouble, we plan to stick to it through thick and thin. Would anyone like to try using this in a sentence, please?
All of us have gone through the thick and thin to experience the essence of life.
Excellent. In Toastmasters, we encourage all the speakers who use the word of the day and idiom of the day by giving them a thumbs up. I will be noting down the good uses of these words and phrases, which could be replaced by better alternatives as well. I will present the report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Someone else will be observing every single thing that will happen tonight. Later, that person will give us feedback about the proceedings, the environment, and general comments. To act as a general evaluator, we have our president, Nandan. Now we need to get back to the agenda of the meeting. The first half consists of 4 prepared speeches from the RCS program. Each speech has a specific time limit and certain fixed objectives. That's why we call it as a project. Each project teaches us some aspects of public speaking, such as body language, vocal variety, or persuasive skill. There are many aspects that these speakers will try to develop and excel at. The first speaker will be attempting level 1 project 2 from the innovative planning pathway. The project is to write a speech with a purpose. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. The evaluator for the speech is Toastmaster Darge. The time allowed is 5 to 7 minutes, meaning the writing sequence would be green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, red at 7 minutes, and the buzzer will be rung at 7.5 minutes. The speaker is a commerce student with a keen interest in finance and economics. He is passionate about photography and likes watching movies. When asked the question, he said she can't name one teacher. She is really fortunate to have so many brilliant teachers in her life. Let's welcome Toastmaster Arya Kukar.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Mr. President, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and peers. Today I am going to speak about someone who has shaped this, who has taught us lessons and values which we will remember throughout our life. I am going to speak about the teachers. Teachers, no doubt, are a valuable asset to a country. They lay the foundation of a country in true sense. They are a backbone of a country. Teaching is one profession that creates all other professions. World won't be the same without their diligent efforts and service. The quote says, Teaching is more than imparting knowledge. It is inspiring change. Learning is more than absorbing facts. It is acquiring understanding. Every teacher we have had a significant impact on a life. Maybe sometimes the teacher has to play a role of a mentor who guides us, a friend who motivates us, or a guardian who makes us understand a life. They form an integral part of a life, and life without them wouldn't be the same. Throughout my life, I have been very fortunate to have some great and brilliant teachers who have guided me to the path of better. Through their support, I have gained confidence, had a sense of self-worth, and believed in myself throughout. They have been there for me through thick and thin. Through them, I have improved myself and learned so many things. In 2017, a story of a teacher went viral from Pune. He walked 25 kilometers just to teach a child in a single village. When this story went viral, other people around donated some money so he can afford to buy a bicycle and go to his single student school. The efforts they take for their students, I really appreciate. They are relentless and spare no effort for betterment of their students. A teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself for the betterment of others and show us a path. Coming from a family full of teachers, I've always valued and respected their contribution towards the society. Amid the pandemic, I had my 10th board exams. A teacher spared no effort to make sure that we were prepared and confident. From working overtime to personally checking on every student, they did it all. They were a ray of hope when nothing worked and there were times of uncertainty. They also ensured that we are confident enough and did not give up. Even though there are initial difficulties working through a different mode of education, they learned new things, adapted themselves, teaching us a very important lesson in life. Instead of blaming the situation and the hard times, they adapted themselves, which really is commendable. A true teacher teaches us something that textbooks never can. Their wisdom, knowledge, and teachings, they open up a new world to us. Many people, other than teachers from schools or colleges, have played this crucial role in their lifetime, time to time, in different cases. Maybe there are mentors who have guided us, a friend who has always been there, a parent who have imparted their values and knowledge with their morals, which actually form a foundation for our life. Or it can be anyone whose story inspires you. We should always look for these teachings in our life. They can completely change your life, can add up a new perspective to your life, can take your life to new heights. We should always value these people and these teachings in our life. This may do wonders. Today, I want to thank every teacher, every person in my life who has taught me various things and have been there for me at various stages of my life. A Chinese proverb says, if you're planning for a year, sow rice. If you're planning for a decade, plant trees. And if you're planning for a lifetime, educate the nation. So thank you to every teacher out there who is educating a nation and framing a new youth for a nation. I also want to tell if anyone of you would have to say something to your teachers, please say that. And maybe a short message can make a day for the teacher. My grandmother is around 70 now. Just received a small message from her ex-student on the day of PURNIMA, and that really made her weep. And she was so happy just reading that over. So thank you so much.
So is somebody online?
Yes, sir.
The second speaker will be attempting
30
everyone.
Okay.
Let's pause for 30 seconds to write feedback for the speakers on your personal chat. Or you have the voting script on that. You have option to write feedback for speakers. Timer cable, let me know when 30 seconds out. Second speaker will be attempting level 1 project 2 from the leadership development pathway. The project is to write a speech with a purpose. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. The evaluator for the speech is Toastmaster Club. The time allowed is same as previous speech. The title of the speech is How Teachers Shape Your Life. The speaker belongs to Lohegaon, Pune. He is an IT professional working in MNC. His favorite teacher is Gaurav Pandey sir because he identified his true potential, guided him and motivated him in each important steps in his life. Let's welcome Toastmasters Gaurav Pandey.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow Toastmaster, and my dear guests. On the occasion of Guru Purnima, I would like to say thank to all teachers who helped me to show a light when I was in doubt, who helped me to show a light when I was in doubt. In life, you have made a big mark along with when in every stage there you are my guide. In every stage you are my guide. In each success story you are my pride. In each success story you are my pride. With that, I would like to say thank again to all the teachers who helped me to guide a motivational, successful path in my life. Now coming to my speech is categorically divided into the 4 parts. In my first part, the story is division of people, none other than family members. In my second part, a teacher who had helped me to identify my true potential. In my third part, one teacher from a tennis background who had helped me identify spiritual aspect in my life. And my fourth category, there is one teacher who had helped me identify the guidance perspective of my life. That is none other than books. Now, coming to first teacher, first guru in my life is family members. Through thick and thin times in life, family members are there who help you guide, motivate, and show you a path towards success. In my family, 3 members are there: father, mother, and brother. Right now, father is not alive in the world, but I belongs to army background. My generation background is defense background. So my father is was a gutsy soldier. From him, I had learned the lessons of discipline in my army life. Then he showed me the way of braveness as well as courage. Then my mother, who helped me in the financial conditions in the life, how to manage your financial conditions, and in the stage when you are ups and downs, the mother is there who had helped me a lot. Now coming to my brother, he's one of my best friend, and he helped me in
stage of how to be a consistent person in the life. He had given me a lesson that how to become a consistent person to be a successful people, this person in life. Now, coming to my second guru, is none other than a teacher. Earlier, I mentioned Gaurav Pandey sir. The man who had identified my true potential in earlier when I was in 5th standard. And he identified my purpose with true potential. He guided me those days. Because of him, right now I am here. The way he had shared me the story that never give up attitude, the winning attitude, he embedded those things inside me at those times. That's why I am a better person throughout right now. I'm here. Coming to third guru, a tennis teacher. When I had joined tennis club, I am a tennis player. The name of sir is Burkude sir. Whenever I am visiting a tennis club, he always taught us a lesson, very important lesson. Without not having a plan, you cannot win with your opponent. Like in tennis, without holding the racket, you will not able to win the match or win the singles or doubles games. So that important lesson, having a plan in earlier life is really important. He showed me. Then after, how to be a calm person to identify your weakness of your opponent. That important message helped me a lot when I was in middle of my career in the tennis, because I realized the importance of how calmness is important. Because if your opponent is strong and he's playing very smartly with you, you just have to find one wrong shot from his side, and that's made you'll win that set. So those two lessons help me a lot from the corporate lesson. Now coming to the books. So how books made me a person, helped me a lot in my life as a guru. I firmly believe today is a leader, tomorrow is a leader. Today is a leader, tomorrow is a leader. That concept brings me in life, and I read not many books. Books from some books are The Power of Subconscious Mind, Get to the Top from by Sohel said, Personality Development and Soft Skills by Varun K. Mitra, Atomic Habits, Compounding Effects. For the investment purpose, there are so many books. Some of them, Intelligent Investor, Psychology of Money, Science of Getting Rich, along with so many plenty books are there who help me the purpose in more wider way. Because books are the one that helps you become a lifelong student. And why student is important? With that, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you so much.
The third, let's pause for 20 seconds to write feedback for the speaker on the slip provided. Timer, camera, please inform. The third speaker will be attempting level 1 project C from the Toastmasters Influence pathway. The project is Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice vocal variety or body language to enhance speech. The evaluator for the speech is Toastmaster Chaudhary. The time allowed is same as previous speech. The title of the speech is Secret, Magic and Power. The speaker is a businesswoman and a food blogger by profession. Her hobbies are exploring new cuisines, reading and travel. When asked the question, who is your favorite teacher and why, she said life is the best teacher of all because life gives us experiences and teaches us many things which we cannot learn in any school or college. That being said, her father is her best teacher. He has taught her many lessons which have helped her at many stages of life. Let's welcome Toastmaster Sanjali Khavya.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. President, distinguished Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmaster, and all the guests. A very good evening to you all. Our theme of the meeting today is Guru Purnima. Do you know why do we celebrate Guru Purnima? Well, I am here to tell you why. Let me walk you through a small story here. In a royal courtyard, people are gathered waiting. A few stairs above is a humongous chair embedded with gems and fine velvet. There seated a man in fine silk, but his expression worried and tense. A lady suddenly comes running and says, "My king, it's a boy, and that too born on such an auspicious day," and bows down to him. The king rejoices and gives the lady the precious pearl necklace that he's wearing. He now walks towards his wife's chamber and sees his wife. She's tired from the pain of labor, but at the same time happy because of their son's arrival. He reaches her and tells her that, "My queen, you have made me the happiest man in the whole world," and names his son Siddhartha Gautama and takes his son in his arms and promises him to keep him safe and away from all the troubles in the world. Little did he know that life has some other plans. An astrologer then predicted that either Siddharth will become a great emperor or a great sage. But the king being the king, he wanted his son to become a great emperor. Time passes by and Siddharth started growing up. But, alas, never leaving the palace. He had all the luxuries that he needed, like best food, best clothing, best education, overall, the loving parents that he had. But the king was still worried that he might become a sage and not the emperor. Hence, he kept him confounded to palace and he made him busy with all the luxury. But Siddharth was not content. When he turned 19, he married a beautiful princess and her name was Yashodhara. Together, they had a child called and they named him Rahula. One day, Siddharth went to his father and said, "Dear father, can I please go out and explore the world?" Now his father started thinking and reasoning. And then he thought that now my son is happily married with a child. And now there are no real chances if he will become a sage. And hence he said, "Yes, you can go out." Siddharth took a chariot with him and stepped out to see the village. There he saw a man lying on a bed with pain and fever, and he asked his chariot, "What's going on?" Charioteer said that the man is sick. Then he saw another man struggling to walk, bending down. Then he asked him, "What is this?" He said, "This is old age." Siddharth has never known this. Finally, he saw some people carrying a man on their shoulder. He said, "What is this?" The charioteer explained that the man has died. Now his heart sank and he got worried. He said, I was unaware about all the problems in the life. And he started thinking that what was I living for till now? Finally, when he came to a decision, he said, I do not want to be confounded to my palace. I will go out and explore the world and see what lies there. I want to find peace and liberation. He left his home, his luxurious life, the royal palace, and then he roamed around the country, attending many schools to learn many forms of yoga and meditation. But still, he did not liberate himself. Now, for years, he practiced samana. The fundamental of this system is never asking for food or water from someone. This practice is done by many sages only to beat the natural instinct of existence. And he walked and walked for miles, for years, to thick and thins to the point he was reduced to skin and bones, barely eating only when offered by someone. Until he turned 49, he stayed in the forest and meditated under a Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, now in Uttar Pradesh. Now, on a full moon night, same as Guru Purnima, he resolved that today, either I see the ultimate nature of my existence, or now I will not open my eyes and die here. The minute he resolved and gave the rest to the mind that he needed, and his wavering mind came to a standstill and stopped struggling to find liberation, he achieved enlightenment. His face started glowing. He got a different glow around him. Under the shining full moon, the Siddhartha Gautama became Buddha. Do you know what Buddha means? The one who transcended his intellect. He gave his teachings and formed a religion called Buddhism to create order and peace to at the age of 80. After becoming a great leader and a teacher, he finally passed away. Now, on this occasion of Guru Purnima, I bow down to such a great man who existed 2600 years ago, but is still remembered as a guru, a great teacher, till date because of his deeds. He wielded the universe's true secret, and with the power of perseverance and practice, he found and spreaded the magic. And hence, we dedicated one Purnima in his honor when he was enlightened and called it as Guru Purnima or Buddha Purnima. One of his famous teachings is drop by drop the water fills the pot, meaning boon boon se pani bharta hai. With every drop of knowledge we collect, we will become content one day because knowledge is the true power. Thank you.
Let's pause for 20 seconds to write feedback for the speaker on the slip provided. So timer, Kevin, let me know in 20 seconds. The fourth speaker will be attending level 1 project 3 from the presentation mastery pathway. The project is Introduction to Vocal Variety in Body Language. The focus of the project is for the member to practice vocal variety or body language to enhance the speech. The evaluator for this speech is distinguished Toastmaster Club. The time allowed same as the previous speech. The title of the speech is Meet for Spiritual Gurus. The speaker is working as an assistant professor at the Symbiosis School of Economics. Teaching in college makes him feel young and energetic, likes traveling, trekking, and working in groups. His favorite teacher is Kanchan Ma'am from junior college. Her love for students and commitment inspires him. Let's welcome Toastmaster PURNIMA.
About my speech. A very good evening to one and all. Good evening, President. Good evening, Toastmasters, and good evening, guests. I would like to start with a question. Do you want to be happy?
Certainly.
Are you always happy?
Not really.
What makes us unhappy? What could be the things? Well, there would be many things, but what comes to top of your mind? What makes you unhappy?
Expectations.
Okay.
Desires.
Desires.
Not being spiritually strong now.
But just if we talk about some things like we may get angry, we may get irritated. So don't you think that takes away our happiness moment?
Yes, it does.
It does. So when we talk about in colleges today, so everyone wants to be successful in worldly life, but nowadays we have started talking about emotional well-being, emotional intelligence. We have many colleges which have started coming up with courses on emotional intelligence. So in time of an individual, we face happy moments and we face sadness, irritation, anger. And what causes this anger? It could be someone doesn't matches our expectations. If our desires doesn't get fulfilled. If my students don't come to the class, I feel irritated and angry. If my students don't follow my instructions, I feel irritated and angry. So what I'm trying to say here is that in the life, my previous speakers told about importance of a guru, importance of a ustad, importance of a teacher. Like in research methodology, when we teach, we talk about how do we know things. Either it is through our teacher, through our experts. So experts can be guru. They may give success in our materialistic or in our worldly life. But does it take us to a permanent happiness? That's the question which comes to my mind often. And what instigated me is when my mother passed away when I was in the year 2011. That was the first time I felt such a hollowness in my life. And it started me crunching me from inside that what is life? What is the purpose of life? And it is when that I started thinking about that I wanted to do my PhD. I wanted to, complete my course, get a good job. But where is my mother? She was not there. And it was that hollowness that asked me to find more answers, to find questions to my answer. Here I would like to narrate a story. The story is, we may have seen the movie Jail. So in jail, there may be many jail inmates. There would be someone who would come to the jail and offer, he looks at the clothes of the jail inmates and he finds they are torn or they are shabby condition, and he may give new kind of pair of clothes to everyone. There may be another person who may come and who would see the pathetic condition of food that is being given to jail inmates. And what he does is that he makes a provision that they are offered a good, decent food. There's a third person who comes in a jail, and with a pair of keys, he frees all the jail inmates. Who among these three persons you would feel is the most helpful for the jail inmates? Is the person who gives them a good pair of clothes, a person who gives them a good pair of food, or the person who frees them up? Frees them up.
Yeah.
So that is one of the role of a spiritual guru. When we talk about the topic of self-realization, we ourselves may not be that much, have not reached that kind of degree where we are able to realize ourselves. Like Socrates said, know thyself. So here I would like to say is that the leading the spiritual path, or with the help of a spiritual guru, it helps us lead a righteous life. The first thing any spiritual guru always promotes is to live a righteous life, to not make anyone happy, to not indulge in any illegal or we talk about five sins, Kam, Krodh, Moh, Ahankar. So how do we get rid out of it? So that is the spiritual guru who helps us identify our weakness and leads us to always promote in a righteous way. Spiritual gurus have come across different centuries, different decades, different millennia. They come across different religions. I follow a spiritual guru whom I like, whom I can connect with, whose language I understand. Somi sir would have a spiritual guru whose language he understands. The both gurus have a similar motive, similar to always help us in our life. With this, I go to my spiritual guru. If any errors I have made, I seek forgiveness. It's very difficult to describe a spiritual guru. Thank you, everyone.
Let's pause for 20 seconds to write feedback for the speaker on the slip provided. Timer, Cavalier, please let me know when 20 seconds are over. Let's have the timers report now. Toastmaster Cavalier, can you give us the exact timing for the qualification of the best speaker?
So speaker 1 Arya to 5 minutes 20 seconds. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Saurabh to 7 minutes 14 seconds. Speaker 3 Toastmaster Sanjay to 7 minutes 5 seconds. And speaker 4 Toastmaster Varun to 5 minutes 50 seconds. So all the speakers are 5 minutes 50 seconds.
Let us cast our votes for the best speaker now.
Just close it from top.
Yes.
We'll now have a break of 5 minutes. Timer, Cavalier, do let me know when 5 minutes are over. Break.
Yes, sir. Yes. So we have there is a water cooler here over there. I will make mine.
Now it's time for the evaluation. The evaluators will give their written and oral feedback to the speaker at the end of the meeting, but they will also give some feedback in 2 to 3 minutes here. The timing sequence is green at 2 minutes. Yellow at 2 minutes 20 seconds. 3 minutes. The buzzer will be heard at 3 minutes 30 seconds. The first speech by Toastmaster Arya Kulkarni will be evaluated by someone who is a student in ENTC engineering. He's a techie, a chef, and loves to play cricket. He's also a trekker. His favorite teacher is his school teacher, Vaishali Man. The reason to like her was never to give up attitude for any task, which helped him learn many things. Let's welcome Harsh Darke.
Hello, am I audible and visible to everyone in the room?
Not audible, I'm just giving you
Yeah.
spotlight.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, Mr. President, Toastmasters, my fellow Toastmaster of the day. As I'm going to evaluate my target speaker, Toastmaster Arya Kulkarni. Congrats, you have made up to a second speech. The purpose of this speech was writing a speech on a purpose that you have completely achieved it. The purpose of this project was to write a speech with a definite purpose and to present a good organized speech. You have done up to this mark. For this theme, as your speech related to the theme, the topic which you have chosen was very good. Whatever you have explained from introducing your speech with a quote and ending your speech with a proverb, that could be a nice one. But as your speech purpose was to convey the importance of a teacher in one's life, all the topics and objectives were fully covered, but I can give you a good recommendation to cover up where you have missed some points. Like for the first missed point you have seen as that you should have given your own example as how a teacher has been a role model in your life or in any other one's life. A good example, like from day-to-day examples, we can understand more about the topic and more about what you're going to speak, the content. Then second thing, your voice clarity was good. Then please see that whenever you give your speech, to make a thorough eye contact with the audience. As this is your second speech, though your confidence level was good, your I couldn't be able to see your gestures and everything as I'm attending online. So see to that if you have used some gestures, then it's a plus point to your speech. And if you have not, then please see in your another upcoming speeches, then you should use gestures or something. The interest and the purpose was fully covered as the comfort level of your stage has grown a bit good compared to your last speech. As nothing else, but only see your the construction of your speech should be in a concise manner, like from beginning of your speech till the ending of the speech. It should not go like a big content. And everything was good. And all the best for your next speeches. Thank you, Arya. Over to your Toastmaster of the day.
Second speech by Toastmaster Saurabh Bhosle will be evaluated by someone who is a simple human being who meditates regularly and loves cycling, reading books, and trekking. Her favorite teacher is Mrs. D. Manja Prabhakar, her mathematics teacher in class 10. She was just average in math, above average in mathematics before she started teaching her. And at the end of the year, she ended up with top score in the class. Over to you, Toastmaster Priyanka Thakur.
Hello, am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. Good evening, Mr. President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. My target speaker, Toastmaster Saurabh, attempted speech under Pathway Leadership Development. And the purpose of the speech was writing a speech with purpose. The title of his speech, how teachers shape your life, was apt as per the content of the speech he delivered. It was well structured. He had it in 4 categories of teachers, which he introduced us to. In his speech, Saurav gave us numerous examples of how his teachers contributed in his success and building of his confidence, how he was supported in his thick and thin times. And that was pretty much what is required when we talk about teachers shaping our life. So he has given ample examples of how those teachers end up shaping his life. Now, the example, what he uh, told us about tennis lessons and how those tennis lessons make him learn the important lesson of being calm, speak volumes of his teacher's contribution in shaping his personality. So throughout the speech, he was confident. He had good body language. It was a well prepared speech. All examples which Saurabh provided was relatable and was good for audience to relate to. So those were easy examples anybody could have identified with. Now, moving on to the recommendation, I have couple of recommendations as an observation from my side to help Saurabh further improve in his next speeches. First, what I would like to emphasize is to be conscious of camera settings, as you are not properly visible for online people due to the movements which you are having to cover the stage. Maybe for offline it was not an issue, but for online, as I'm attending it online, I can see that in most of the time we didn't see you clearly. And the second, your conclusion was abrupt. So when I say your conclusion was abrupt, when you ended the speech, so it was like I was hoping more of the content as a closer, but then it was like, okay, that's all from my side. So maybe next time what you can do is you can end up your speech with some kind of a summary. You may use some kind of a takeaway lesson, or you can end it with some kind of a quotation that can have more impact at the end of your speech. Having said that, we thoroughly enjoyed your speech. It was engaging, it was diligently crafted, you were confident. Thank you for putting this together, and looking forward to have many more speeches from you in the coming future. And wish you a good luck. Thank you.
Third speech by Toastmaster Sanjay Khabya Panwar will be evaluated by a law student in Pune. She loves reading, writing, and watching cinema. Her favorite teacher is Professor N.N. Kulkarni. The reason behind it is that he not only will teach him maths but also a way of life. Let's welcome Toastmaster Gayatri.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am here to share my feedback on my target speaker today, TM Sanjari Khabya. TM Sanjari attempted Person's Influence Level 1 Project 3. The purpose of this project is for the speaker to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. And I think the purpose was very well accomplished today. TM Sanjari delivered an excellent speech narrating the origin story of Guru Purnima and how Prince Siddharth became Gautam Buddha. Now, let me start off by congratulating you, TM Sanjari. You delivered the speech with conviction. I could see the confidence in your body language. Your hand gestures were varied and they were not repetitive at all. I think it was pretty great that you were standing. I'm sure it allowed you more space to do varied hand gestures. The voice modulation was appropriate and your body language helped captivate the audience's attention. Now, the only area where I think you could improve is eye contact, because many a time during your speech, it came across as if you were reading from the notes. Now, I know it is not possible to memorize the entire speech, but what you could do instead is you can place the notes with your points somewhere near the camera, so that you can easily look at them. You won't have to cut the eye contact. And that's it. That's the only recommendation from my side. It was an excellent speech, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. And I wish you all the best for your journey.
The fourth speech by Toastmaster Varun Miglani will be evaluated by someone who is the founder of our club as well as Toastmasters movement in Pune. He has been a member for 27 years and was the All India head. His favorite teacher are his parents who taught him many things. Let's welcome Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Prasad Sohi.
Please, can you remove the spotlight from that?
Yes.
Click on that. Remove spotlight. Good evening, everyone.
Good
evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Need for a spiritual guru. That was the title of the speech that Dr. Varun Miglani delivered. I'm not sure if the missing article A was a typographical error or was it a deliberate attempt to have a different title. I'm not sure of that.
It was an error.
The speech had good structure with opening, body, and conclusion, and they were clearly understandable for all. So we could sense that it was a well-crafted speech with all three elements present. It had good contents with analogy of a gel as well as other examples that he quoted, which were easy for everyone to understand. And people could respond to that as well when he asked questions about what is more effective for the inmates, for example. He has a strong, good voice with easy reach for everyone. Could you hear it in the last row?
Yes.
Very clearly, right? Yeah. Some areas of improvement for him. One is there was online audience as well, and I think you missed eye contact with them entirely. And when you were speaking from here, let's say, you were not visible for them. So you missed out on that. Maybe you could remember that it's a hybrid meeting and try to work on both. Then there could be some areas where you could have varied the volume and speed. This particular speech requires him to have variations of speed, volume, pitch, timbre, etc. So something which is easy for all of us to follow is variation of speed. Sometimes you speak faster and sometimes you slow down. Sometimes you raise your voice and then you bring it down. So people understand that there are variations. If you have a dialogue in your speech, that always helps because you can have two characters with different voices. One could be a baritone voice, which is deep, guttural voice, which comes from here. For example, something like this. And the other could be a shrill voice or a normal voice. So when you have variations like that, it's easier for the audience to understand that these are different characters speaking. Otherwise, you have a strong voice, which was audible for all, and you also have a good natural body language. So all your gestures are flowing smoothly, naturally. You don't have to work on them specifically. Your hands flow naturally, which is very good sign. And your gestures are also confident because of that. So overall, I would say on body language, excellent. Voice modulation, excellent, except for one or two areas where it could work. Eye contact, maybe some work on that. Contents, excellent. So all in all, we enjoyed your speech. Congratulations. We look forward to your next speech. Thank you.
Now let's test our ability to think fast and speak impromptu in the table topic session. Are all evaluators qualified?
So except all three evaluators.
Okay, so I'm launching online poll.
Let's vote for best evaluator.
Just give me a second to remove that. Just Just cross that. Yeah.
Now let's test the ability to think fast and speak only promptly in the table topic session. The table topic master is an educational coach by profession. She is an ambivert. He strongly believes in the process of learning, gaining knowledge, and upgrading her skills with time. Her passion lies in learning the English language and literature. She has always been an observant by nature. So when it came to learning the most, it's from her mother-in-law. The wisdom, the meticulous work, being an astute, lessons of spirituality and humanity, patience, and the power of law of attraction, faith, and personal growth are all taught to her through her kind acts of kindness and with her teaching that the world is her oyster. She always tells her, explore and rise. Let's welcome Toastmaster.
Very good evening, everyone. Very good evening to the President and Toastmasters and dear guests. So the purpose of the table topic is to develop the ability to speak and think on your feet. I'm going to invite some Toastmasters and guests to speak on the topic each. This will be they come here, shake hands with me before and after their speech. Please clap at the time of a handshake. To qualify for voting, the speaker must speak between 1 or 2.5 minutes. The timer will be giving signals as follows. Green card will be flashed at the end of 1 minute, yellow at the end of 1.5 minutes, and red at the end of 2 minutes. There will be a grace period for 30 seconds to wrap up, at the end of which the bell will ring. The first speaker I would like to call upon today is Toastmaster Nandan.
Sit there afterwards.
Yes, I will. So your first question for you is, what is one of your hidden talents? Yes.
President, fellow Toastmasters, and my guests. So quite an offbeat topic that I have been given today, considering it's the theme of PURNIMA. What is my hidden talent? I would say that talent is something that you explore throughout your life. So, for example, I would consider public speaking is something which I did not have earlier. And ever since I've joined Toastmasters for the past 6 months, ever since the meetings have started conducting offline, I have tried to overcome this fear, this anxiety of speaking in front of public and guests. So I think this is some talent that I have within me, but it was hidden because it was not displayed in front of public previously. Now that I attend the meetings regularly and try to speak in front of public, I think I can develop this and I can be a better public speaker in the near future. And with that, I will just say the table topics. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next guest I would like to call upon is Ananya Nidhi. for you is, what role a teacher plays in a student's life?
Good evening, President. Good evening, my fellow masters and guests. So the question which Dia had given me, what role does a teacher play in a student's life? First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you Toastmaster Parunimma, who gave me a brief idea about this Toastmaster International. This is my first session, so all the feedbacks given to me would be impromptu. Kindly spare me all the negative feedbacks for now. Once I start doing these sessions more regularly, I'll be able to put across my thoughts more clearly. Coming back to the topic, what role does a teacher play in a student's life? So a teacher can be anyone, be it their parents, be it the kindergarten teachers, or any friend, or anyone who can give a student their what do we say, proper guidance to the problems which students are asking for. So if I am a student and I'm asking from a teacher, how do I do well in maths, and the teacher is telling me how should I study more science or Sanskrit or English or Hindi, that won't be useful for me as a student, and that won't be very good on a teacher's part as well. So clarity of thoughts among teachers and effective communication of a student where they want the where they actually want guidance from teachers is necessary. So with that, I would wrap up this question. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to call upon Martin, sir. My question for you is, teaching is not a profession, it's a way of life. Do you agree with this?
Good evening, President and fellow Toastmasters. The question is, teaching is not just a profession, it's a way of. I believe it is a way of life. It is a way of understanding what students need, what it is also a process of learning, because as a teacher, initially you will not know how students would ask you questions or what do they want. But as you progress, you understand and form a relationship, a kind of professional relationship with these students, and you take it forward as well. That is, you understand them as a person, and then you help them solve problems, help them give them an approach to solve problems, while you yourself will also solve new problems. And this will help you improve you yourself as a person and help others also improve as a person. Thank you so much.
Yes, online.
Yes. Now can I take online?
Yeah.
The online guest, I would like to call upon Anuja Chodia.
Please turn your camera on, Anuja.
Anuja Chodia.
We have lost her. We have Amir Kulkarni, who has his camera on.
Okay. Next, I would like to call upon Amay Kulkarni.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. The question for you is, real learning doesn't occur in the classroom.
Can you repeat the question?
Does real learning occur in the classroom?
Okay. Okay. So hello everyone. This is Amir Kulkarni. So the question is, does real learning occur in the classroom? So I don't agree with it. So we were in COVID for the last 2 years, and we have seen that students are learning on online. Okay. So where for almost 2 years they were sitting in front of the laptop, computers, and teachers were teaching them. So I think it is not necessary that the learning occurs only in the classroom. Yeah, and that's it. I nothing is coming to my mind as of now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Please turn your camera on if you wish to speak. All online guests are requested to turn the camera on. Yes, Shivam Kumar Mishra has turned his camera on.
My next question for Mr. Shivam Kumar Mishra is, as a teacher, what would be your biggest concern for future? I repeat, as a teacher, your biggest concern for future would be.
Good evening, Mr. President, and to all Toastmasters and the respected guests whoever are present here. This is my first session with Toastmaster, and my topic is what, as a teacher, what is the biggest concern for any teacher? So I believe for any teacher, the main aim of any teacher is to get to see that their students are going in the right direction, and this is the thing that is the most that is the first concern of any teacher, that their students stick to the ethical and moral ways of learning. Their students participates in the practical learning outside the classroom, and their students also perform good in other aspects of life other than academics. So as a teacher, this is the very first concern, that they want to see their student rocking in all and each and every platform and in all aspects of the life. Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon Mr. Praful. My question for you is, what are the disadvantages of online learning?
So first of all, it's my privilege to speak on. Sorry, ma'am. I didn't got your question.
Okay, yes, I shall repeat. What are the disadvantages of online learning?
Okay, yes. So after COVID, it was a very difficult for offline classes, and now online classes we are getting some good some advantages, but there are so many disadvantages, like some students are behaving like their behavior is not proper. Sometimes there are some technical issues getting we have to face. Sometimes there is a connecting issue we have to face, and there are some students who are not learning very they are not very proper way. So thank you. Yes, yes. Yeah, we have time. There's one guy, Adesh Acharya, is online with camera on.
Yes, Adesh. The next question for you would be, speak about any of your childhood memory with your teacher.
Okay, good evening to all of you. So one of my childhood memories that when I was in the first standard, actually I am very much, I had very much fear about the public speaking. So at that time, my Marathi teacher, Mrs. Lakpati madam, told me that Adesh, you can definitely speak in front of everyone, and you don't worry about what the other will say about you. And if you are not well perform in competition, then that's also fine. You have to just go on the stage and do whatever you have prepared for that specific topic. And actually that event actually play a very much vital role as far as my opinion, because when I went on the stage and speak first time, and after that competition, actually I got very much confident about the public speaking. So Yes, that is one event that I never forgot. Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon Danish Irani. Have I pronounced your name correctly? Parali, I'm sorry. The topic for you is teachers are nation builders. Do you agree with this? Good evening, everyone. Parali.
P-A-R-A-N-D-I.
Yeah.
Irani.
Good evening, everyone present here. I'm Parali Rani. And the topic is, do you think teachers are nation builders? Thank you. I do agree, teachers are nation builders, because if teachers didn't impart the knowledge to us, we would not be the best at our profession. We would not have that confidence in ourselves that we have right now, or even I, especially right now, talking in front of everyone, is not my best point, but I feel trying and then teachers encouraging us is the most valuable thing that encourages us to be something. We always have certain goals in our mind, but to achieve them, teachers are the ones that push us ahead and they impart knowledge. They give us that commitment towards our goals and achievements. So I feel yes, teachers are achievement. Thank you. Want me to call someone? I would like to call Vijay sir.
Yeah.
So Vijay sir, can you hand me the please?
Natasha and Anna have turned the camera on. You can
Okay, why do you think we need a guru in our life?
Good evening, all, Mr. President. We need a guru in our life because he is the only one person where we can ask him how to achieve our goals. Without giving his guidance or under his guidance, we can easily achieve our goals, and also he will help us how to get targeted goals. So what type of achievements we need to complete our life with fulfillment of our life.
We have this lady here. I don't know.
Okay,
What's her name? See.
So the question for you is, if at all you had a chance to visit a country's history, which teacher as a character would you like to be? If you ever had a chance to visit the history, so as a teacher, what character would you like to be in? I would like good evening, President. Good evening, Toastmasters. Thank you for the question, ma'am. I think I would go for the as a play is the Guru Purnima. So I would actually I would like to be the person because the kind of teaching he has given. I think that is very everyone has gained so much because of this teaching. I think I got the question right. Yes, you got it. So we basically have to think about a character as a teacher who we would like to be. So you suggest what? Yes. Thank you.
Yes, online. Natasha is one and Anna.
Natasha, can we have you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the question for you is, teaching is more than imparting knowledge. What is your opinion over this statement? I repeat, teaching is more than just imparting knowledge.
Ma'am, I do agree that teaching is more than imparting knowledge, because I think if you go to see in our day-to-day lives, there are so many people we actually learn from, right from our younger siblings to even the maid, or even the house help, or even outside, like even the housekeeping people. We get to learn a lot from them. So it is not just about imparting knowledge. I think there are a lot of experiences that we learn from. When we encounter or when we interact with such people, we get to learn so much from them. And in that way, that helps us to broaden our horizon, helps to improve our knowledge base, and obviously helps us to subsequently become better human beings, because the learnings that we have, and the interactions that we have with such kind of people, if we maintain the same kind of gratitude when we speak, that again is reciprocated in the same manner, and obviously that that interaction goes on for a longer period. So I think definitely teaching is more more than just imparting knowledge. It is about the whole experience that we have with each and every individual around us. Thank you.
That's time for
Anna, Elizabeth, soon.
Anna?
Am I audible?
Yes. So my question for you is, who do you think has played a vital role in framing your character? Is it your parents or your teachers?
Yes, can you repeat it once again?
Who has played a vital role in framing your character? Is it your teachers or is it your parents?
Okay, ma'am, thank you for the question. Well, playing a vital role, initially our first teachers are our parents. So from our birth itself, parents guide us through the right path, and they impart the right path of education. While school is considered to be a second home, and teachers are our second parents. So the path the teachers guide us is different from that of the parents. Teachers give us knowledge of how, mainly on the basis of syllabus preferred by a particular particular board. It can be either a central board or state board, and character formation is done by parents. That's all, ma'am. I'm getting.
Thank you. Anuja Chodia, online. No, she's in there. Shivam Kumar.
Anyone online with the camera on?
Anyone who would like to participate?
I would like to participate.
Yes, sir. So my question for you is.
No, you have already spoken. So who's that?
Yeah, I have already spoken.
So we conclude. This concludes the table topic session, which I hope was enjoyable for all of you, and also to participate and witness as it was for me to conduct. With this, I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Tamanna.
Now, take names. Please raise your hand so that everybody knows.
First, cancel names who are not qualified. Just or circle those who have qualified.
Who are not
Nandan is qualified.
Okay.
Nandan is qualified.
Okay.
Mayuk is qualified.
Okay.
And Natasha is qualified.
Only 4.
Yeah.
Can vote for 3 speakers.
4.
4.
Any one of these 4.
And any one of these 4. Kevalya, Ananya Nadi, Mayuk, and Natasha.
She's on.
now for the language evaluator to come forward to give his report. Let us welcome Toastmaster Ritwik Kankiwale.
Good evening once again. Good evening. I will now be presenting my report. I'll go speaker wise, so it is precise and concise. So speaker one, Arya Kulkarni. It was a really good speech. I adored it. It was good and concise, and you are about the only person who used the word of the day and the idiom of the day as per the speakers. Now I'll just point out some things that you might need to work on little. So there were minor grammatical errors, past tense, present tense. So one or two times I thought that you did not use the correct tense. At one point you had said, quote unquote, they adapted themselves. I thought that there would really won't be any need to say themselves. You can just say they adapted. Another thing, see, I'll show you one example. So you mentioned a word called morals, but you spelled it out as morals. So you see, when you spell it out, it gives off a completely different meaning. So moral has a completely different meaning than moral, which changes completely the consonants and the alignment of the sentence. So you could have pronounced it correctly. That's what I want to say. Another thing was that for framing, you said instead of framing the new book. Now this is completely wrong. Framing is basically it means to incriminate or conspire against. So you could have used instead of framing, you could have said nurturing or any other synonym. For many of the end number of speakers, again there were some grammatical errors, some cohesion errors. Again, there was a speaker who said braveness, where you could have just spoken brave. So again, minor punctual errors. There was a speaker who had thanked one of his gurus. So I feel, I may be wrong, but I feel that you can do the thanking part at the end. So basically, if you do want to thank, you can put it really implicitly and concise manner. Again, a good story about Gautam Buddha. I really like that. Regarding Sanjay, what you could have done is basically you could have put emotion in your words. Like when you say that when the emperor heard that Siddhartha would become either a sage or an emperor, so he exclaimed at that point. Right? He was very exasperated and he wanted to explicate that here is a man who has two destinies in front of him. So exclamation, you could have really put it through in your speech. Again, if you wanted to ask a question, you could again tone your voice a little and bits and bobs around. As for my fourth speaker, Mr. Varun Niglan, I really liked your speech personally. You started off with a questioning, so that was really a good way to start speech. You were engaging with the audience, getting all the audience involved. So that was one really good plus point which I observed. Again, there were minor grammatical errors which you could really work on, or you could substitute with other words. So you can totally avoid those errors. There is one thing that you jumbled up. So you said find questions to my answers. So you could have said find answers to my questions. Besides this, Arya was the only one who used the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Let us have a round of applause for all these people. Yes, I conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritwik Kankiwale. We now have our counter's report. Let us welcome Toastmaster Teach.
Good evening, Mr. President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends. We often find ourselves using words or pillars like so, and also sometimes meaningless sounds like when we are searching for the right words to say. Such words could
distract our audience from our speech and give the impression that we are not well prepared. Instead, try just pausing for some time while you straighten out your thoughts. This will help us reduce our reliance on these curse words, and it will also achieve a clear and eloquent speech. I will now be presenting my report. The first speaker was the Sergeant at Arms. He was flawless. The second speaker was our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nandan. She had 4 R's, 1 R, 1 unusually long pause, and she repeated the word procured. Or I didn't get that word, so you had repeated that one. Was our president, Distinguished Toastmaster Nandan, sir. He was flawless. Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Arya, had 4 arms, 3 R's, 2 R's. She used the so word twice and also had 3 unusual short pauses. Speaker number 2, Toastmaster Saurabh, had 4 unusual pauses, 3 R's, 3 arms, and used the word so once. Speaker number 3, Toastmaster Sanjay, was flawless. Speaker number 4, Toastmaster Varun, had 3 R's, 1, used the word so once, 4 arms, and used the word you know once. Evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Harsh, had 5+ arms. He repeated the word introduce once and also used the meaningless sound once. Evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Priyanka, had 2 arms and 1 R. Evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Gargi, had 4 R's, 3 R's, 5 R's, and used the word and twice. As evaluator number 4, Distinguished Toastmaster Prasad Sodhi, sir, was flawless. Our language evaluator, Toastmaster Ridley, had 2 R's, 5+ R's, 2 R's, and used the word you know twice. Our timer, Toastmaster Kevalia, used the word once. And our table topic master, Toastmaster Neha, had 1 R. Then I move on to the table topic speakers. Table topic speaker number 1, Toastmaster Kevalia, had 2 R's, and table topic speaker number 2, yes, Ananya, had 2 R's, 2 R's, and speaker number 3, yes, Mayuk, had 2 R's. Speaker number 4, yes, Amay, had 4 R's, 3 R's, and used the word so once. Speaker number 5, yes, Shivam, had 2 R's, 2 arms. Speaker number 6, yes, Prafula, had 5+ arms, 4 R's, and 1 R. Speaker number 7, yes, Adesh, had so once, 5 R's, 2 R's, and also used the word very much, repeated it once. Yes, speaker number 8, yes, Parandi, had 1 R and 1 arm. Speaker number 9, yes, Vijay, had 1 R. Speaker number 10, yes, Anjali, had 2 R's, 2 R's. Speaker number 11, yes, Natasha, had 2 R's, and yes, Ananya was flawless. That's our round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster K. Sharma. Someone was observing the proceedings of the entire meeting. He will now give his report. Over to you, Distinguished Toastmaster Nandan, sir.
Toastmasters and guests, good evening to all of you once again.
Good evening.
I hope I am audible and visible to those who are online. So let me give an overall comment about the meeting. I think today's meeting you had the theme of Guru Purnima, and I could see that the preparation for that started well ahead of time. And I could see our Vice President Education, Tej Sharma, he was diligently following up with all the role players, and he had some tough time. I could see him working through thick and thin to get the replacement for the role players so that they just planned the meeting. The agenda was prepared and also printed and shared with them. You all have the agenda? All of you?
Yes.
So circulated also, that is done very well. And Sajid Towns was first people. He started the meeting on time at 5 o'clock. He also read the club mission, Toastmasters Club mission. He explained the basic rules of the meeting, so that way he has done that well. Only one suggestion to him is maybe he can be seated here near the door throughout the meeting and control people who are coming in and going out. I could see that some people were going out also. That is fine in case if they want to leave. Only thing that should not disturb, especially when someone is speaking here or someone is evaluating here or a table topic, because the guest may be speaking here on first time. We don't want them to get disturbed. So I think I request the Sajid Top whoever is going to take up the role to ensure that the decorum and the what to say the place is well maintained with all the discipline. Next one is before coming to the Toastmaster timer. I could see our past vice indication Toastmaster timer has taken up the role of a timer, and I could see that he was showing the timer parts for all those who were taking here. Also, those who are at online, he was seated just next to the camera. I could see him extending his hand and then showing the timer part to the online people also. He has doubled up as online timer that he has done that well. Only one thing is that we are doing a demo. Mostly the people are sitting behind. They are showing a green card. I think you are showing the green to the people here. Maybe one day the Toastmasters the day was here. That can be shown so that the audience can know that. Other than that, I could see that he has done the work very well. Timer. Our counter, our vice president education takes and has taken up the role. I could see that he has diligently counted all the hours and he has also given the report. And only thing, there were so many table topics taken because I think there was a one speech we reduced from 5 to 4 speeches. So we had more time. So we had more table topic speakers. So he was giving a very detailed report. So that way I think he was spending over the time. So what he can do is, I think maybe in case 4 speakers are there, he can just only give a overall count, saying that more than 5 hours, these are all the people like that, you can say that, and ask them to connect with you so that you can give a detailed report. You also explained about the role of the R counter, which is very important, especially guests, they should know what is R counter, that you have done that well. Next is grammarian, Toastmaster Sankiwale. I think he has done the role just after one meeting. I think he was the speaker in the last meeting, icebreaker speak. And he has taken up the role this day. I want to appreciate him for taking up the role and coming up with a very simple word of the day, idiom of the day. I could see so many people using it. So that is a very simple one. He also explained it well. He asked the people to also use it as a sample, as a demo, that he has done that well. And what he can improve is in Toastmasters, we have a pattern of CRC, we call commentation, recommendation, commendation. First one, I will say that yes, he has done the role well. Next one, what can be improved? Then again, we can conclude with one more commentation so that the person is encouraged to come back. So in a grammarian rule, what we do is we give 3 types of things. One is about people who use the word of the day and idiom of the day that can go into the commentation part. Recommendation, we can tell about what people can improve. Normally, when we say recommendation, we don't mention the speaker by name. We don't say that Toastmaster of the day can improve like this and Timer Kaivalya can improve like this. We don't tell by name. We just say that someone else was using this, rather that person can improve it, so that the person doesn't feel offended. So that is one. And also, I think we don't give us as a grammarian, we want to have each role as a specialized role. When an evaluator is evaluating, he is an evaluator. When a grammarian is coming here, he gives only grammarian part. He doesn't give us that I like your speech, and that is the point I like in your speech. Which maybe you can tell him offline, but when you are a grammarian here, only give the grammar feedback. Other than that, I could see that you observe all the speeches, and I could see a lot of details in your report. You can give to the offline, that will be useful for them. You have done that very well. So this again, if you have seen that I have done a commentation, recommendation, commentation. That's what CS is. Next is timer I covered. And table topics master. I think Toastmaster she had some question. And she came up with a lot of topics. She explained, she gave opportunity, called a Toastmaster, veteran Toastmaster, then she gave a lot of opportunity to the guest. One thing, she need to repeat the topic twice, we give the feedback to her so that the guest can understand it easily. Other than that, she has done that well. And we had 4 speeches and we had 4 evaluators. Toastmaster Harsh, Toastmaster Priyaka, Gargi, Toastmaster Gargi, and we gave all 4 of them gave a detailed the online, because she is participating online. She also explained about from online point. That's a good thing which she has done. Even Toastmaster Gandhi, you could see that she gave a feedback on body language because this speech is about more about the introduction of vocabulary and body language. She gave a feedback. That's a good thing. And DTM Prasad gave independent feedback on how the person should improve on it. It's a very good thing. So just saying that this was not good. He also said how it can be improved. That's a good thing which has done that. Last but not least, I think the Toastmaster of the day, the Toastmaster Tamanna, I think she has taken up the role as the other person who planned, I think he just backed out. She prepared it well within the short time and she came up with a very good content. And the theme was appropriate. You see almost all the 4 speeches were in line with the thing that she has done that well. And she also has presented I covered all the role players. So that way it was overall, it was a very good meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed. I hope even you have enjoyed. Thank you and over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Nagavan sir. Now it's the moment of glory for some of us that invite our club's president, DTM Nagavan sir, to give away the certificates for the best speaker, the best evaluator, the best table topic speaker, the best auxiliary role player, and the best role player, and also give us closing address.
Good evening to you all once again. Let's have the voting. I think we will have the voting for the best role player and the best auxiliary role player. So let me
I'm launching poll for best role player, which has Toastmaster of the day Tamanna, table topic master Neha, and general evaluator DTM Nagpur.
You can vote for any one of these. Here also, the certificate to elect vote.
Some feedback.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. The meantime, let's take feedback from the guests. I would like to request all the guests to give a very short feedback because we have more guests. We have less time. Maybe within 15 to 20 seconds max. Just to tell me what did you like in the meeting? What you go ahead.
Thank you. Because this is a good exposure or platform. We have fear in his mind to stand in front of all the audience and speak fluently. Because I have lack of fear speaking in front of some audience. This will help for me how to speak fluently and without any grammatical or some with full confidence. Thank you. I'll definitely join this class.
Thank you. Thank you.
I felt as my first meeting here, it was a pleasure to be back. And the second thing is I appreciated how a lot of guests were accommodated during the table topic session. And a good evaluation was also provided. So that's something that I like.
Thank you. Thank you.
First of all, the space provided by the platform to express oneself and get evaluated. It is a very an expert kind of evaluation. So it is better than most of the other speaking English classes also. So it is much more better than that. The other point is the table topic. Yeah, table topic session. It was something novel. I hadn't seen it previously. The extempore part of it.
Thank you.
it's a good platform for newcomers. For example, if I have some knowledge of English, but I have problem in stage reading. So I think it will develop my stage reading and all my gestures and my body language. And it's not just a platform where I will also get what where I am doing. There is a lack of my confidence or my body language or my gestures. So I think it's like from this platform.
When I entered into the, I was thinking that what will happen because this is my first meeting and I was not knowing about this like club thing. So this is a very new thing for me. Definitely, I have done mistake over there. So, but over a time, I was just thinking that I will attend the kind of meeting regularly so that my confidence level will boost up, and I'll have and I'll one day I'll be there and I will give a better skill.
I feel I learned my grammatical mistakes from this better and then the vocabulary which people everyone speaks, you can build your vocabulary. So that will be like a plus point for everyone. Thank you.
Come into the camera. Yeah, you are senior.
Good evening once again to all the attendees out there. This was my first session and I would again like to thank Dr. Miglani who had introduced me to this Toastmasters International meeting which happens every Saturday. So one small feedback, if we are having such long sessions, in that 5 minutes break, we could get some refreshments also if this club can get it.
Provide after.
Okay. So yeah, so this is a fairly new exposure which was given to me and I thoroughly enjoyed it and I plan to attend this further and thank you so much.
First of all, I'm really thankful to Arun sir who gave me this chance of beer. I'm really sorry I'm not in proper dress code. And I really think this is a really insightful thing. I got this platform. I learned many things over here today, and I look forward to being part of this club from every Saturday. I try to be there. And thank you so much.
What's your name?
I'm Keshav.
Next round of poll and then get feedback from online.
Auxiliary role player now. So all qualified for auxiliary role player.
Accountant, sergeant at arms, language evaluator, all three.
Somebody did not qualify, right?
Accountant.
Sergeant Toastmaster Deepak, Tiger Toastmaster Kaivalya, language group, all three are qualified. But I think you can see the names from the online board. Similarly, we can do a voting here at offline on. In case you are running out of sleep, please ask. We can give that.
So timer, alien, essay, three qualified.
These three names, you can write one up, then you go over to game, then the role well. The meantime, we will take the feedback from online. If it's online,
Ameya.
Yeah. What is the question?
Share with us what you like.
Okay. So I think Toastmaster is a very good platform to improve our public speaking skills and our communication skills. I really liked the fact that there is an evaluator for each and every aspect of our speech. So there is a evaluator for grammar mistakes, for bar counters. So I think if we continue to come to Toastmaster every Saturday, we will definitely be a very good speaker and will be successful in our career as well. So I would like to participate in the offline mode next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have Adesh. Natasha, please turn your camera on and give us feedback.
Yes. Hi. So actually, Toastmaster is a very good step, I think, as this is my first session. But yes, I'm so much happy that I also get the opportunity to speak as per my capacity. And I agree with the Ameya's opinion that if we continuously attend this program and actively participate, then definitely our communication skill definitely improve, and in our career also it helps a lot. So thank you very much.
Shivam, Natasha.
Yeah, hello everyone. I would like to say that this Toastmasters session was obviously my first session. So I wasn't aware of the rules and the timing as such of the sessions. But I really enjoyed the fact that, different people are coming together, bringing their different opinions, different stories that they want to share. And it was a really nice platform where we could hear everybody here. So
anyone else online?
We have Shivam.
Hello everyone. Good evening to each and everyone present here. Actually, this is my first session with Toastmaster, and I was really nervous while given a topic to speak, and I do have the fear of public speaking, but I really enjoyed and learned a lot, and looking forward to attend a lot of sessions in the upcoming time. Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, everyone.
Covered all online members. Okay. I think now we will get to the next part, which is the business of the closing session. Before going for the awards, I want to announce something about next week. We have the club officers training program. So this is mandatory must for all the club of executive committee members to attend. We have two options: either we can attend on Saturday or Sunday, and please select. And I'm planning to attend on both days, Saturday and Sunday. Please join on any one day. And this is mandatory for club officers, but even for others who want to attend who want to understand various roles in the executive committee, you are welcome to attend. I think we will be sharing the link for registration. Tomorrow is the last day to register at the deferred scheme, and then we can register for next couple of days also by paying 170 rupees for the deferred and 200 for the next one. So that way I request all our club being Diamond Club every time. So for us, it's mandatory that all the 7 officers should attend. So please select whether you want to attend on Saturday or Sunday. If you want to attend on Saturday, you can attend and come back to the meeting here. Or Sunday, if you want to attend, you can do that. But it is mandatory for all club
We want to host the next meeting only online. So in case we are late there,
okay,
we can still conduct the meeting from wherever we are.
Okay. So next week we'll have the online meeting.
And then the week after we'll have only offline.
So that is one announcement. Second one is about the role players. I see that again this week we plan to for 5 speeches, but we could see number of people backing out. Please avoid doing it. In case if you have taken a speech slot, if you have taken up any role, please perform it. And in case if you are going through that, please tell in advance, at least identify a replacement. Otherwise, education is finding it difficult to search for an alternate or replacement for role player. Even today, we had a tough time after coming here. We need to look for people alternate members, which is not a good sign. Let us plan for that. Also, for the members who don't have, because today the thing is also PURNIMA. In case if you don't have a mentor, please connect with Vice President Education. He will assign a mentor for you. And those who have mentors, if you are not connected with the mentor, please, before each role, you could see that whenever you are doing the role, you can connect with the mentor, and if you are not connected, you can see the difference. Connect with your mentor before performing each role so that you can do it better. I think with this note, any other announcement date, we can.
President, next week's TMOD.
Next week?
TMOD.
online, we can ask so the people who are online also take a chance. Like Priyanka.
Okay. Now it's a time for the awards, and first we'll start with the best speaker award. The best speaker is someone who spoke about the need for spiritual guru. Let's welcome. I request someone to take a photo.
If you can shift that side to the focus of this.
Best table topic speaker, someone who spoke online as a guest Natasha. She there. We will get the digital certificate online.
If we have data.
Yes.
We have
we need to have a contact details. Are you there to guest Natasha? You are there, please share your phone. Okay. And next is best role player, best auxiliary role player is someone who has taken up the role of a grammarian just after one meeting. I would like to request. And the best evaluator, someone who evaluated the speech by Toastmaster Varun. I request DTM Prasad Soni to come here. And I request him to give the best role player award, which is
given to District Toastmaster Nagapal.
I hope we covered all the awards. I think we are going towards the end of the meeting. So as soon as I back the gavel, we will complete the meeting. I request all or everyone here to come here for a group photo. We can switch off the projector, we take a group photo. After that, all the guests here, please connect with your membership team, Toastmaster Kaivalya. He will be briefing all the guests about more about Toastmaster. If you have any questions, he will answer. Also, he will explain how you can join the Toastmaster. Thank you. With this, let's conclude the meeting here.
Yes, I think Ameya and Shivam, you have connected with me. Adesh, probably we might not have your data, so just send your contact details online on the chat box here, please.
Yes, sure.
Type here, please, before we end the meeting.
Yeah.